You're now tuned into $1 million worth of game. This is, listen, this is real game now.
Yes.
You know, our game means guys' intentions, motivation, education, but today I feel like, to be honest with you, I know a lot of y'all hear about my basketball stories. And what's so great, Doc, is that when I tell the young kids my basketball stories, back in the day, it was no footage. It wasn't no phone. So can't nobody say when I was talking about getting 30 or 20 or grabbing some, they really can't, playground stuff, so they really can't talk about it. But today I feel like I might put 30, I'm gonna be humble. 10, 10, and 10. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. I just feel like that because Doc here today. I'm like, you know what I mean? I just feel like that. But we happy to have you here. You're a legend. You inspired so many people around the world. But one of the questions I always wanted to know, and I never asked nobody this question, was y'all playing music in the locker room back in the day?
We didn't have the headphones. We had the boom boxes, whatever, and music was around.
What was y'all
Let's
playing?
put it that way.
What was something that y'all playing? Y'all get fired up like, yeah, we ready to go out here?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, for me, you know, it's more like Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
And if for some of my teammates, they were like James Brown. Hit me. They want to hit somebody.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So yeah, we had fun in the locker room, man. The locker room was fun. Halftime, you come in there, slice up them oranges, eat them, get the energy, go out there and do what you got to do. So, yeah, there was things about that don't get talked about, and so I'm glad you're bringing it up. Yeah.
Like when you know, because when you see a locker rooms now, like they lavish, they got all this stuff in here, they got all this support, they got smoothies, they got all this stuff.
Yeah.
You just said y'all was coming back just eating orange slices, getting powered up from orange slices.
Yeah, you're right.
And go.
You're right. Then when I got to the pros, guys were smoking in the locker room. That freaked me out, man. I saw
smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes.
And then going out there playing hard like that?
Hey, man, I told you it freaked me out.
Damn.
I never smoked in the locker room. Yeah. And I don't smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke cigars, you know, for a while and let that go. But the locker room story. I think we could do a documentary on the locker room story.
Okay, because it was just deep.
It was way different back then.
Yeah.
It was
totally. You walk in the locker room, they got cigarettes lit up in there.
Yeah, so
what you gonna do today?
You saw it.
Yeah, and you score, and he just scored 30. He smoked. He was like,
yeah.
Damn, he smoked a Virginia Slim.
but now it's crazy because when you look at the players from the past, right? And like even I was watching a Michael Jordan documentary, and they was playing in Game 6 of the finals, and they was like, Mike, so what you do today? And he was like, oh, I sat in my room, I played the piano and drank wine all day. And I'm like, damn, on a championship day? That's what you do. Now these dudes, they got these things they lay on, they roll their legs out, they got these things they put on their back. These guys was coming in there throwing some Chucks on, some Converse, jumping from one side, no support, nothing, to the other side, laying it up. It's just like, y'all guys were different animals back then. Wasn't well, taking games off for rest. I'm tired today.
see, I think there was great insecurity. It was called the next man up, right? And what that basically means is, you know, you go to the sideline holding your hip and whatever. If you don't come back soon enough, next guy up is in your spot.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, it's like survival out there, whether it's amateur, pro, whatever. I mean, we started on the playground. Guy can't play, the next man comes in. He got the spot, and then the next game, he's starting. And you got to earn your way back.
Right.
You know, so now with the load management and all that stuff and the compensation, it's such a difference between the first guy and the 12th guy.
Yeah.
12th guy ain't got no shot getting into that lineup because it's just economics.
Right. Well, if they would have had load management back in the day, what's the percentage of the players you think would have been cool with it? Like, no, you sitting out there.
I think it's a small percentage because even back in elementary school, man, I never wanted to be late or absent. It's like,
you never wanted to sit out a game.
Well, I'm just talking about going to school.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't want to be late.
Yeah.
and I want to be absent. So that carried over into my basketball.
Right.
I don't want to be late for practice, and I never want to be absent from a game.
Right.
So, you know, like if you played 82 games, I want to play all 82.
Right.
You know, it would take something dramatic to even make me play less.
Right.
And I mean, I think for a long time, I never played less than 78. You know, you know, you get a sprained ankle, you have to sit out a game or whatever, but it's like come back real fast.
As soon as you can.
Yeah.
Now, coming from the transitioning from the ABA to the NBA, where when I do some studying on the ABA, what I come up with is that they tried to say that the ABA was more flash than substance. What's a story that's not true about the NBA that the media and the people still think is true about the ABA?
Well, just that it was clear cut, you know, better talent, better, you know, a better league. And I always personally just thought that the only advantage the NBA had over the ABA was depth. You know, they could go 7, 8, 9 man deep, you know, before you get to the guys who are just there.
Right.
And the ABA could go 4 or 5, maybe 6, and whatever, 7th, 8th, 9th guy. Those are interchangeable parts.
Right.
So that's what I personally used to feel. And then when they had the merger, and the first year they had the All-Star game, and they had, out of the 24 players, I don't know what the exact number was, but it was more than half, you know, who had played in the ABA. And you know, I was MVP in that game. And after that, you heard little about, you know, that former comparison that the ABA was, you know, so dominant over the NBA was so dominant over the ABA. But, you know, I mean, you have to give credit for history. I mean, when the league started, you know, back in 1947, and evolved to, you know, what it became. You have to give credit to that.
Absolutely.
But it was a big difference. I mean, physically and visually, there was a big difference because, you know, the flair in the ABA and the things that used to happen. And, guys going airborne. You know, they used to tell you, don't leave your feet till you know what you're going to do, right? And you know, and sometimes it became an ABA thing. Well, I'm gonna leave my feet, and then while I'm up there, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do.
Right.
If somebody jumps in front of me,
right.
or you know, you have to dip, or you have to whatever. You know, it's like Daryl Dawkins. He's talking about. Doc used to jump. He used to put on the air brake. And he started thinking about what he was going to do.
So he had to think, should I go this way or should I go that way?
Yeah.
Click, click. Wow.
That's
air crazy.
Yeah, he used to crack me up, man. What a guy.
So when the ABA and the NBA merged, okay, and the ABA had better talent, why did it merge to the NBA instead of the NBA merging to the ABA?
There were more teams. More teams and money. In more established cities.
Oh, okay.
You know, that had a lot to do with it. So the 4 teams that, you know, got brought in, you know, there were no NBA teams in those cities, and some of the teams that got left out, still to this day, they don't have ABA or NBA teams. But a lot of them fell by the wayside because they couldn't support a professional basketball team in their market. And now, in almost all the markets that the NBA is in, there's 1 or 2 other professional teams in there, and most of them have 3 other professional teams in there. So the support of the teams by the market itself is dictatorial.
How do it feel? You know, a lot of times you only see documentaries come when some people are gone, they're not there. And a lot of times you don't have people to tell the story of what was really going on. How did it feel for you, you know, with Soul Power to be able to be there telling a story of what really was going on. Because, you know, every documentary is somebody else.
Yeah.
Their idea of what was going on, or what somebody told them that told them that told them.
Yeah. You're right. You make a good point.
Yeah.
You make a good point. So how does it feel? It feels great. You know, in 2012, you know, I came with my personal autobiography.
Okay.
And then the autobiography was a documentary just regarding me. But this is about the league that I started my career in, and the league that still, you know, lives and flourishes in today's NBA. You know, you can't go to a game and not see evidence of the ABA being there and the things that happened in the ABA, trial and errors, and you know, things that worked, things that didn't work. And you know, I get excited about that because my transition from college to pro basketball was through the ABA and also through the Summer Pro League. So playing in the Rucker, you know, there's guys who played in the Rucker, the street legends, you know, every time I see them interviewed, they were like, yeah, man, Doc really learned how to play ball over here in the Rucker League. Yeah. And I never played in the Rucker League until I was 21 years old, so I knew a lot of stuff before I got there. Yeah. But something happened there that was a validation, and validation of my destiny. And I think things might have been different if I hadn't played in the Rucker.
You know what's crazy is, like, when you think about the ABA, you say, with the way, you know, you got the NBA now, could an ABA exist in this type of day and time? And then I thought about, as I'm thinking about the question, I'm like, man, I've been to Big Three for years with Ice Cube, and I've seen it grow from here to the arenas getting packed now. And it's not, you know, 5-on-5, but it's like, it's extremely entertaining, and I'm seeing a bunch of people. You know, if you was there from years ago and you see it now, the stands are getting more and more people. You know what I mean?
It's the validation once again of, you know, an idea that goes from just being an idea to being reality. Because I'm sure 3-on-3 existed for as long as the NBA has existed. And, you know, when I grew up, I was playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 1-on-1. And, you know, those were just pickup games. So it was there. It's not, okay, who's going to package it? So Ice Cube decided to package it. Plus, in different parts of the world, it's already packaged. And they played 3-on-3, and, you know, they want 3-on-3 to be an Olympic sport, and so on and so forth. You know, which is good, and it's good for the state of the game. I think it should always be in the mode of trying to better itself.
Yes.
You know, that's how you continue to exist through trial and tyranny, by bettering yourself and always being able to produce a better product. I think that's what the fans demand, because, you know, they all up in your pockets.
Yeah, it's different, you know, now.
They all up in your pockets, man. I'm having these discussions about All-Star Weekend, and I was just on the phone with my son, and he was like, I might need to hit on you for a ticket or something, because what they asking, you know, these tickets like $7,000-$8,000. Right. I can't even imagine that. Right. Ain't no way I'm paying $8,000 to go to a game. I'm sorry.
How much was y'all tickets back in the day to get an All-Star game?
$8.
$8. Ain't no one from God.
He had a 3-0.
It was $8. To get into
think about it.
I know.
Think about it. If people was back then was like, damn, $8.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't know if I want to go that bad.
$8 ain't that important. I give me a whole go grocery shop. That's deep, but it's like the reason I asked that, because the day like you said, the fans.
This episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by DraftKings. The NBA biggest stars deliver the biggest moments. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, you can cash in when they take over. Player props, live betting, every possession, every shot, every steal is your shot to win with DraftKings Sportsbook. And DraftKings has your back with early exits. If your player goes down anytime in the first half, you still get paid in cash. New customers bet just $5. If your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Whip. Just bet $5. Pick something that you feel like, I know this is going to win. There's a heavy percent chance this is going to win. And once it wins, you get 300 of bonus bets instantly. Don't forget to download DraftKings and use promo code Gillie so you can get that $300. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Put it on and wear it right.
They know a lot. And it's like the fans always demanding more based off the salary you got. So it's like that's why I said could the ABA exist in this day and time? Because they always looking for an alternative.
Yeah.
Like this ain't enough.
And back in the day, it wasn't public information. Mm-hmm. That started somewhere in the last 20 years or whatever, where, they basically reported people's contracts, their earning, taxes, all that kind of stuff. It's available. You can go look it up.
Right.
You go online and look it up. How much is Kevin Durant making? 40, whatever.
Right.
And before that used to be your business.
Right.
Your salary used to be your business.
Doc was just Dr.J. They ain't know how much he made. He just was a superstar. It didn't even matter how much he made. That's Dr.J. Like now girls be at the club like this. Right? He make $52.6 million a year. Him right there.
That's this much a game.
Yeah, that just make you a target, right?
Right.
You're a target. It's different.
Absolutely.
It seems like they got a lot more pressure today because of the finance, because of the openness of their personal business. They'll tell you where they live at. They'll tell you everything about them. Whereas there was no state, they'll tell you who their wife is, where they live. Nobody knew that before.
Yeah, no.
So it's scary.
It frightens me a little bit too, man. The knowledge and the information that is available.
Right.
And I mean, I can see if you want to look up somebody's criminal record or whatever, to save you from being a victim.
Yeah, I understand that,
but how much they making, come on.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
That ain't everybody's business.
Nah. Now, all the OGs, the old heads, the veterans of the league, they always say, when we played, it was a lot tougher. It was a lot rougher. These kids got it easy, which I do believe too, because I'm 49 years old. So.
Yeah.
But do you think that it is some players in the league now that would still flourish in the league back then? Even though it was a lot rougher, it was a lot, because you got to understand, last night it was a fight on TV that wasn't even a fight. They swing and they not even trying to hit each other. They running like y'all
that's
was
the
really
dance.
like
That's the dance
y'all
move.
was going in the air and punching people in mid layup. like I seen a whole clip on Bill Lambert. I was like, oh my God. So do you think it's some players still like that would have flourished in those times, even with it being that much more aggressive and fierce and
there's guys in the league who have reputations, and they don't back down, and they're actually looking for a confrontation, which is kind of interesting to see. Every now and then, you're watching the game and you start saying, "Oh yeah, he'll go."
Yeah.
He ain't gonna back down.
Right.
He could take the little contact.
Right.
And back in the day, I mean, there were the known enforcers, the Oakleys and Maurice Lucases and so on and so forth. And, nobody necessarily messed with those guys.
Right.
And they loved to intervene,
They was waiting for somebody to get something.
When I was playing Tim Bassett and Rich Jones, when I was playing the ABA, I mean, I had Tim and Rich. I ain't never had to ball my fist up.
Right.
They was ready.
They was on it before anything bad happened, because they like, no, you ain't messing with Doc.
Right.
He's my guy. And it was part of the beauty of the league that there was an understanding.
Right.
And there was sort of like an unwritten rule in terms of, well, this guy, he's coming in the game. He got 6 fouls to use. Who is he gonna hit with them 6 fouls? Because he ain't just love tapping nobody.
Right.
When he hit somebody, they were going down.
So it was kind of like the hockey effect. Kind of Wayne Gretzky, he got his guys. Y'all hit Wayne, y'all know these, they coming.
Yeah, that was truth, and that was same era.
How?
Hold on. So the ABA, you had your two guys. Soon as you got into something, we had Vernon Maxwell on here, right?
Yeah.
And Vern said, Larry Bird was a cold motherfucker.
Yeah.
He said Larry Bird did a pump fake, and him and one of his teammates got crossed up, and they fell, and Larry Bird hit a jump and told him, get up. Right.
Then get up and take some more of this.
Right. So now you get to the league, the cool, calm, collective Dr. J. You never really see him mad, angry, or nothing. He just, what happened with you and Bird?
What you talking about?
Oh, because that was the one time the enforcers didn't step in.
What you talking about? No. Barkley and Moses, they both stepped in.
Oh, they stepped in?
And they were stars. They were, you know, Moses was already a star. Yeah. Charles was a blossoming star and whatever. And once they saw what was going on, you know, that little pity-pat stuff that me and Bird was doing, it wasn't all that dramatic.
It looked nice, though. I ain't gonna lie.
And next thing I knew, they grabbed him, put him on the ground, and they said that I punched him, you know, after they grabbed him, but we already had our little altercation. It wasn't going to be crazy, you know, because I mean we were both leaders of our teams, and you know he was young and up and coming up. I was already, you know, 12-year veteran. So I usually don't say a whole lot about it because you know it was kind of contrary to my reputation and how I viewed the game.
That's what I said. You was always calm.
I didn't
know what Bird.
Now, who was it outside of situations like that? Yeah. Was it ever anybody that when you lacing up in the locker room, you saying, I got to see these guys tonight? Was it ever a player that you was like, it's going to be a battle, man. It's going to be a rough night?
The two guys I liked the least were Adrian Dantley and Bernard King. And, you know, for different reasons, too. Bernard would just light your ass up. He just coming down, I said, what's wrong with this coach? Why are you running the play for him every time? Right. You know, he got 4 other guys out there. Run some plays for some of these other guys. So every time Bernard is getting the ball in his hands, you know, and you know, it's not like they were dominating the league or whatever. So, you know, maybe it did produce some wins, but that was just the strategy, and that's what it seemed like. You know, when you're on the end, where you're defending the guy who's getting the ball every time and getting to shoot it every time. Right. It's like, damn, I ain't getting that many shots. I'm getting like 15 shots. Right. You know, he getting 35 shots. Come on, you know? And I'm getting 15 by design.
Right.
So, and Adrian Dantley, man, he knees, elbows, you know, and you foul him, he get to the foul line, he's in there rubbing the ball, and he doing all this shit right here, and whatever.
You like, man, what the?
Come on, man, shoot the ball, man. Come on, man. Shoot the ball.
He needs to do that.
Here's the foul line here. Massage it in. Yeah. You hit me, now I'm up here, let me do my thing.
You like. What was it? What was this though? See, this is what I want to know. Like, you telling me y'all going back having orange slices and recuperating just to recuperate, and you already got in your mind, I'm sore, but I can't come out this game because the next man up.
Was y'all getting massages back then?
No.
Y'all ain't had nobody wait for y'all?
No. Pre-game, somebody could work on you or whatever, but you know, after the game started, no, we didn't have that. I didn't have that. You know, all I had was, after that game, putting ice on my knees. You know, putting ice.
And just leave.
Sometimes you take a shower and you put the ice bag on, wrap it up, then you go jump in the shower, melt the ice, then you pretty much feel good. After that, I mean, it wasn't no science behind it, you know. That's natural. That's natural. And I think if you take LeBron today, you know, they say he's spending, at least $5 million
on his body,
on his health and wellness in the off season. That was the number years ago. Right. So I don't know what the number is now.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot.
Or whatever. We ain't have $5 million to spend.
Tickets was $8.
$8 tickets. It's hard to get to $5 million from there.
Ain't nobody gonna get that.
You gotta live to be 102.
You ain't had no brand deals. There wasn't logos all over the court. There wasn't no brand deals. None of that.
Well, you know, I was Converse guy and, you know, Jiffy Lube and, you know, some different endorsements. I did all right with endorsements. And sometimes endorsements exceeded my salary.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was always trying to wonder, because I tried your move one day. It didn't work out for me. I tried to go ahead and play with some Chucks. I had these red Chuck Taylors. We was at a celebrity game. Man, I went to the sideline. My foot was just burnt. I pulled that Chuck Taylor off. Whole skin was ripped off. I'm like, I only got.
He got a video too. He talking about, see, I got respect for Doc and them because they used to play in these. But as he said it, his feet is bleeding.
Like, how was you like playing in Chucks? Like, how was it?
Well, I got my first pair of Chucks, man. It was $7, less than a ticket to the game.
Yes. Yeah. That's a lot of money too.
And I put in 3.5. My mom put in 3.5. And, you know, I got those, man. I wore them day and night, you know. So I wore them delivering my newspapers and, you know, different things, going out, washing cars and, you know, doing different things we used to do. I ain't take them off for nobody, man.
Playing ball in them, sleeping them.
Played in them, and went to school in them, and whatever. I mean, that was my pride and joy, man. It was canvas, high top. Couldn't tell me nothing.
What color you had, black or white?
White.
You had to wash them a lot.
We ain't wash them, man. No, they had to go through their natural life, and then when it was time to take them off, they had to go.
Damn, that's how you know he loved. He talked about them like they was a human.
We had
they had to go through life and then when the guy called.
They got called home.
Get another new pair. Mom, you got 3.5.
That's how you know them Chucks was.
They got called home.
I forgot he was talking about sneaks for a minute.
They got called home. Why is it so important that the world hear about soul power?
Well, I think that the people who were involved should be given credit for the chance that they took. You know, whether it was a player coming out of college or leaving school early, like me, and signing up with the league, you know, or it was, you know, guys like Larry Brown and Doug Moe and, you know, different guys who played and then went into coaching, and maybe they didn't have a path to go back to college and coach or a path to go into the NBA. So it was an outlet that was there, you know,
so
for
Larry
them.
Brown started coaching in the ABA?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And he had a long history as a coach, you know, and switched back over to the NBA and coached with Philadelphia with Iverson and those guys.
Yeah.
But he was an ABA. He was an ABA player, and came out of Carolina and played with Denver. Him and Doug Moe, they was boys, and they kind of went through the journey together with the ABA, and I think they're going to be involved. They are involved in the documentary and talking to the docu-series.
You executive produced this, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Now, this is what I want to know. How proud are you to see these young players get their worth and all the benefits? Something that y'all was on the ground floor.
I think it's on our shoulders.
Yes.
You know, and some of them acted out in a good way, and you know, others I don't think they're clueless about what we went through and what the guys went through even before my era.
Yeah.
You know, with the racism that they went through, and couldn't stay in the same hotel, couldn't travel. The traveling was a lot different. Guys used to travel on trains and cars and buses and whatever, you know, so now these guys, they're on private jets, and, you know, sometimes they take their own jet. They don't even go with the team.
Right.
Or whatever. So that's part of the evolution and the economics of it. It's just, I always tell people this, what do you think? Man, it ain't real money, come on. Those are just numbers, it ain't real money. But it's real money.
Yes. All the way real money.
I'm personally in denial.
Yeah, you gotta be like.
But I'm all right. You know, I mean, I do well.
Yeah.
and just was born a little too early to catch that, because that happened so fast, man. And I was right at the junction where 87 was my last year. Yeah. So 87, and you know, the numbers started to soar like in 90. Yeah. In 90, guys who wasn't even that good.
Oh, I seen,
you know,
Comcast get
it was getting like
million.
12 million. I was like, 12 million? I didn't make that my whole career.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So, but that's the business, and that's a sign of the business that chose me, because I don't think professional players choose their profession. Right. I think sports chooses you. You decide how hard you're going to work, what you're going to put in, and what you have to give, and then wherever that ends up decides whether you get first round, second round, third round, you got to walk on or whatever. But the pro teams decide who they want, and the pro organizations decide who they want to give a tryout to, and who's gonna be the next one up. Because look at all the people with the dream, man. I mean, who say, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a pro. I can do it." Yeah, you can.
Everybody in every
can,
hood.
but you ain't. You know,
no, that's what I told him all the time, because he had a game. He played in the Philly.
I'm nice.
He had no. I'm gonna tell you. Don't lie to Doc. What happened was, Doc, is that, and, you know, it's different type of universities. I'm not knocking no university, but he had a okay game to win a city championship. Yeah. And after he won that, he went to like a neighborhood college, like a small little neighborhood college. You went, you know, it was outside of Philly. And I asked him, now we arguing back in the day, I said, he told me, yeah, my game. I said, where's the letters at? Why Ohio State, Indiana, why they not sending you no letters? None of these legendary basketball schools sent you no letter. They didn't send you no letter. So he keep telling me, I said, listen, man, I could go in there, if Muggsy could go in there and drop them, I could do. I said, they want to have you warming the bench up. That's it. Like,
that would be all right.
That would be all right. I would take that.
But you never.
At what age did you know, like, all right, I might got something?
Yeah, 20.
20? It took the 20?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, there was a lot of people, peers, who knew before and talked it, and I wouldn't dare say that I was going to be a Hall of Famer when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, especially like 18 was 1968. All the shit going on in the country.
Yeah, it was deep.
Come on, man. The boycotts in Mexico, guys who were
King
great.
Was still living.
Guys who were great players. Yeah, he died in 68. He died in 68 because I was in high school, and I graduated in June, and he died in April. And I, you know, kind of lived through the Kennedy assassinations.
You lived through a lot.
You know, that happened 64, 63. So, you know, to say I'm on an exact path to end up here, you didn't know. Sometimes you didn't know whether next week was going to happen or next month. You know, and the Cold War with Russia. I mean, the Vietnam War, man, my classmates were signing up and going over to the Nam and now coming back. Yeah. You know, so I was experiencing a whole lot of that. And that's part of this, in this documentary, in this docuseries. Then during that era, you know, telling these types of stories and owning them and saying, man, you know, it was kind of special to be able to make it through that
life, just
and share it with the next generation. But the reality is, you can share it with the next generation, and it's not going to avoid it from happening, because this stuff happens over and over. I mean, there's wars all around the world right now. And, you know, we got, you know, look at ICE in Minneapolis.
Yeah, all that.
And whatever, you know, people going down and the different things. It's kind of frightening, but you have to, you know, be a person of faith and believe that there's a power more powerful than us, more powerful than the guy in the White House, you know, who thinks he's the shit or whatever. So you got to you know, you gotta believe in God, I think. And I think my personal spirituality has pulled me through a lot of situations and also been reinforced by the outcomes. Because the outcome didn't have to happen as it was. You know, when I got hurt as a kid, and I had my severed ligaments in my knee, that could have been it right there.
Yeah, you could have been done.
That could have been done. Could have been done. You know, different times, you know, physically, you know, don't feel good, and don't take care of yourself. And, you know, we always have people around who are really negligent about their health. And health is everything.
Right.
So.
Man, well, let me just say this before we wrapped up, because one of my earliest childhood memories was when the Sixers won the championship.
Yeah.
And I was like 6 years old, 7 years old maybe. And my mom takes us down to City Hall, and we're standing out there. And Doc came through on the float. And it was like, damn, that's Dr.J. Like, and then they started rioting. And it was the scariest, it was the scariest moment I'm 6 months, I'm like, come on. And I'm like,
what
agony
to ecstasy.
They busted windows, they started stealing shit. I'm like, damn, Doc come through on the float, everybody's going crazy, and then they just said, okay, let's turn this into a time to be ignorant and get some free shit. Doc was it? Like, you remember that time they started?
Of course.
Man, I was like 6 years old. My mom was like, hold on, wait, they running, they busting windows.
Looking
My
for
mom
people to blame too.
What?
They want to blame the mayor.
Yeah, I just remember, like, I don't remember too many things from being that age. At 49 now, I don't remember. But that memory will never leave, because I went from total like, and then now it was panic.
Yeah, you remember that Sunday? That Sunday when we went up and we had a 7th game against Boston, and you know, the 2 years before we had a 7th game against Boston and lost. And then they went on and won the championship. So now, 2 years later, we had 3-1 lead. They came back. It's 3-3. So now we going to Boston. While we going to Boston for this 7th game, they had a riot in Philly. Knocked us out of the news. They had that situation that was happening over in where these apartments were, and I forgot what they called it. It had a name. And the mayor was freaking out, and you know, we see it.
I think it was the Move member.
The Move.
Yeah, they dropped it in Move.
Yeah. So we see that on TV. And we tried to go play a basketball game, and Move was going on. That's what they called it.
Ramona Africa.
It's crazy stuff, man. So you know, what's more important?
Yeah.
You know.
Doc, what made you wake up one day and say, I'm just gonna jump from the foul line?
I dreamed that before I did it.
Damn.
There ain't no question. Ain't no question, man. And I used to. It was funny because I live in 3-story projects in Hempstead, Long Island, called Parkside Gardens. There wasn't no gardens there.
No gardens.
That was just the name.
But I used to dream about freaky stuff sometimes. Like if I jumped out that window, what would I do to land on my feet and not break my neck? And so these dreams, you know, they were real, and they were. The jumping and the running and jumping stuff was reinforced by things that I could do. So we had a park right next to our Parkside Gardens, and you know, I could go there and I could get in a swing and get it going, you know,
and
boom, and then at its apex, you know, going up here and then going all the way out, then jump out and have that experience of flying or whatever. And, you know, my friends and I would do it, and some of them would jump early, and they would have bad landings. So it would land and just keep on running and whatever. So it would land and fall sideways. So it would land and fall backwards and whatever. And I was always good at landing. And I swear to this day, you're not gonna see anybody get but so high off the ground if they ain't got no landing gear. They're just not gonna do it. They just nah. You know, Sean Kemp used to land kind of funny. You see him, Sean would get up.
He'd get up.
And then he had bad landings. He landed leg over here, another leg over here, and he's over here, and whatever. And I'm like, he never learned how to land, but he could jump.
He definitely could jump.
If the last question, if you got your Dr. J's on, and you the doc back in the day, and you suit up and you go on that court today, any team, when the clock stops, what's your stats gonna be?
Today.
I'm talking about
at 75.
As and your prime.
Oh, well, 75. You know, I mean,
right now, you walk through there right now. You walk through there right now as a person.
But with my game.
And they couldn't touch Doc.
With my game.
You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to grab you.
You know how much spacious it is? You know how many more highlights Doc would have had, man?
Yeah.
How would it be?
Yeah. A lot of it would depend on who's coaching, too. You know, the years I played for Kevin Lockery or whatever, Kevin was like, game plan ain't working, bro. You need to do something. Ooh. You know, that was a green light.
You snap out.
As opposed to we're gonna do this, you know, move it around 5 times, and we ran isolations with him, and it's just different. And I think you see it with today's players, and you might not recognize it the same way that I would recognize it, but who are guys playing for, and a guy who has that decision about putting them in the game or taking them out of the game. It's big. That's why so many players are running teams, you know, and they have that, and they're gonna stand tall in terms of what they believe, and they're gonna be vocal about it. And whereas before, you know, coach ran things, owners ran, the coaches ran, and then the players and maybe the captain, you know, had a vote and a seat at the table. So for me personally, I would say, a lot of it would depend on, you know, who the coach was and how he thought about what I could do, the difference that I could make. Yeah. And during my 16 years, I mean, I had a variety. I had 4 different coaches, and they were all different from one another. But
who taught you the most?
Probably, in terms of teaching, he wasn't a head coach. It was Chuck Daly. Chuck Daly. He was assistant coach. He was Billy Cunningham's assistant. And you know, Chuck liked to take saunas and go to the spa and all that kind of stuff. So I accompanied him to the spa many times, and he just got into his head, and he taught me a lot about my game and about the game. Or whatever, and that's why he became such a good head coach, and that's why he's so revered. You know, they have a table outside the Hall of Fame, and it says Chuck Daly on it, or whatever. So he was a special man in that regard.
Because the Pistons, all the players love Chuck.
Yep, everywhere he went.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, Doc, man, we appreciate you for coming, man, and then just sitting down and giving us some game.
Make sure y'all check out
Guidance, Attention, Motivation, and Education.
Yeah, check out Soul Power.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be extraordinary. Amazon Prime.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And man, I'm gonna just say this.
A couple days away. It's gonna be.
My back wasn't messed up. I go to a court right now and drop 30 on somebody.
Because
how many people could say they said it?
You ready?
How many people could say I was talking to Doc? Doc gave me some. He gave me some ideas.
But let's just be for real. I done something that you've never done.
What?
I actually played against Dr. J.
No, you didn't.
Bro, you want to pull it up on YouTube? It was at 52nd Street, J. Erving.
Shout out to J. Erving. Shout out to J. Erving.
Yeah, you know I'm good friends with this boy. Yes, I used to be a rapper back in the day, and we played against him.
Had the lead.
Gerald Henderson.
Yep.
On 52nd Street, I was playing.
We did.
Yeah, see? Now, you ain't never played against Doc.
My game wasn't strong
I'm a legend, and it's just like that.
Right, we out of here.